Hello, everybody. Joe Johanna, Anthony Caruso.
Yo.
We're back again. Talk some more New Japan Pro Wrestling, Best of the Super Juniors 24. And we lagged on keeping up with this tournament.
We did.
It was not a good idea whatsoever. If you've ever watched a tournament, I've never personally watched a tournament until I started getting into New Japan because WWE never does any tournaments. And I mean, the Battle of Los Angeles is kind of a thing, but New Japan is all year round tournaments. So it's kind of important.
Well, most of the year.
Most of it is tournaments. But we let about a week slip away because we did the first two episodes or the first two shows in Korakuen Hall. And then we watched them a week later. We had to watch 24 matches yesterday from 6 o'clock till 1 in the morning.
That was like more like 6:30, but still.
Yeah, 6:30, whatever. Yeah. A lot of wrestling to watch, everybody. And we will never make this mistake again.
Yep.
Because
and it didn't dawn on me till like the second to last show to start skipping the intros.
Well, he wanted to watch it Thursday, and I was like, well, it's a little late. You know, maybe we'll do it tomorrow.
Yeah. Plus, I had to watch. Plus, I really wanted to watch that heartbreaking loss for the Ottawa Senators in double overtime. Fucking Penguins!
That's
I hope they get fucking fucked up by Nashville.
He had the hockey to watch, and I just did things way too late during the day. Got my stuff in, didn't get back home until 6 or 7 o'clock. So I just said, screw it, let's just do it tomorrow. Bad idea, very bad idea, because there were 24 matches that we had to catch up on. But during this tournament so far, after all the matches that we watched, I remember saying, I've seen so many Suzuki-gun run-ins.
Yeah. When they're a quarter of the fucking tournament.
I have seen so many Taichi pants ripping off, and I have seen so many of the same spots over and over again.
Yes. The whiskey bottle.
The whiskey bottle.
The multiple unmaskings. And then the young boys taking their shirts off.
The young boys taking their shirts. I've seen so many of the same spots over. I'm not going to complain because, well, I mean, that's what you get. That's what I get for waiting this long to watch all this stuff.
Yeah, it would have been more enjoyable if we didn't try to binge it all in one day.
Don't ever do that, everybody. If you are considering binging all this stuff, watch it as the day go by, or maybe let 2 episodes pile up. Let both blocks pile up and then watch them. Do not lag on this stuff because it will be hell on your eyes and soul. And I was so close to calling the commissioner from Japan about these dirty tactics that Taichi and Yoshinobu and Desperado, they should be banned and fined $8 million for all these dastardly acts. Well, first matchup on the card, May 20th, 2017, Triple Sun Silver Arena in Matsuzaka Gymnasium. I realized when I watched this, because I never saw a house show from Japan, that these guys wrestle in legit gymnasiums. Yeah. And it looks like they're wrestling in legit high schools. Mm-hmm. So I've never really seen any house shows from New Japan Pro Wrestling. This is my first time engaging and getting into a tournament, to be quite honest. And this was a very big shocker to me. And I did read a review online that said that one of the guys said, well, he wasn't into the single camera. And I just remember, well, I've seen so much PWG that really doesn't matter to me.
Yeah.
The single camera's fine. There was hardly any commentary to watch. We saw the Korakuen Hall commentary, which was in Japanese. Yeah. To which we uttered, "Oh, good! Now we can understand what's going on." None of us can speak Japanese. Nope. We barely know. We just know enough to just be idiots. That's about it. That's about it.
We know Chin-Chin.
We know a lot of dirty things, much like they do about English. So let's get started here. ACH versus Yoshinobu Kanemaru. Very uninspiring match. Kanemaru had a heat segment that was very mailed in, to say the least. They did 3 countout spots within 5 minutes. The crowd liked ACH. He's the foreigner. He's enjoyable. He's an enjoyable guy. It's just he just there's no follow-up. He's just a dude who goes out there. Yeah. He yells super at the top of his lungs, and then someone kicks him in the face. It's all over with. A low blow and reverse DDT from Kanemaru only got him a 2 count, but then a DDT off the top rope. It gets him a 3 count. And that's about it for that one. Next one up, Tiger Mask versus Kushida. You would think Kushida would win this match.
No,
that was not the case. This is a very standard match in the very beginning. Kushida was working over Tiger Mask well like he should be. He worked over the arm, then applied the hoverboard lock. Tiger fought out of it, so Kushida put on the armbar. Then Tiger got to the ropes to break out of it. Kushida gets very frustrated with this because he can't put the old man away. Tiger starts reversing everything Kushida goes for. Tiger puts up the knees to counter a moonsault. He drops Kushida in the middle of drop kicks Kushida in the middle of a handspring. Hits the Tiger driver, only gets a 2 count. Then hits the Tiger suplex for the victory. So, the ace of the junior heavyweight division, Mr. Kushida, cannot defeat Tiger Mask.
Yes, he's now 0-2, I believe, at this point.
So, what does that tell you, everybody? That loss to Takahashi at Sakura Genesis is hindered the man.
Yes.
He lost in 2 minutes, and I'm glad they're continuing the storyline because you can't lose in 2 minutes to Hiromu Takahashi and then just kind of run through the entire tournament here.
Yeah. They're gonna build the big comeback moment for him, I think.
You think?
Yeah. I mean,
this guy's standing by his word that it will be Kushida and Hiromu Takahashi in the finals here. Next matchup, Bushi versus Desperado. This match didn't reach the level that it should have been because, well, when you're doing these house shows constantly, you don't want to get too much in. And the thing about watching house shows, like I said, we watched so much, so we did the entire thing in one sitting in 7 hours. So it got really tiring for us because we saw the same spots over and over again. Yeah. But you can't blame these guys. The house show, they're working a tournament.
You're showing different towns. You're the same match, pretty much, because you're showing all your highlights, your greatest hits.
So you can't blame him for this stuff. I mean, there's going to be off matches, and some of them were off, but I don't expect these guys to put on a 6-star match. Trust me, I would rather watch a basic house show from New Japan than a pay-per-view from the WWE any day of the week. Early on, Desperado goes for Bushi's mask, which was extremely hilarious because Desperado also sports a mask. And the big gimmick here was for Suzuki-gun, and I guess all their gimmicks, is to be complete dicks. Guy's got a mask, rip it off. Don't want it anymore. So he went for Bushi's mask on the early going. Bushi was pretty good in this match. Desperado looked very uninspired here because, like I said, the touring takes it out of these guys. Bushi goes for the MX, but Desperado shoves the ref in the way and takes Bushi's mask off. Quickly gets a roll up for the victory. He rolled the man up while he had his mask off.
Yeah.
Not entirely against this at all. By the way, no run-ins by any team members here. No Suzuki-gun run-in, who is on this tour the whole time. LIJ, I believe Takahashi's the only one, and Bushi are the only ones that are in this. But they rarely get involved with each other's matches. And we pointed out that Takahashi's hardly seems like a member of LIJ.
Yeah.
Ryusuke Taguchi versus Volador Jr. Both guys do that weird spot where they just run the ropes and get absolutely nothing done. Taguchi hits him with his butt a little bit. Then he stretches him, works over his left knee. Volador comes back with a Hurricanrana to try to get some momentum back. Hits a suicide dive to the outside. Volador tries for a sunset flip, but Ryusuke drops the funky weapon on him. Taguchi hits a top rope ass attack. Tries to go for the Nakamura pose, but Volador cuts him off. And every single time this gentleman goes for the Nakamura pose, he gets kicked in the face.
He does not get rewarded kindly for it.
Does not, and I pointed this out plenty of times. I've seen this a lot of times during this binge watching, that he cannot pull this off. But he does do it in this matchup. But instead of the knee, the Bombaye knee, he hits him with his rear end.
The butt shasa.
The butt shasa. Then he hits the Dodon for the victory. So Taguchi goes over to Volador Jr. Volador looks good. Volador, one of the few luchas that I do not mind watching because he's not completely terrible and he doesn't do things. Because at the same token, I should be mad at Will Ospreay because there's a whole lot of stuff for a whole lot of nothing.
Yeah.
So that was that for that first night. Next one up, May 21st in Shizuoka, the Kita Messe domain. Taka Michinoku versus Will Ospreay. Taka worked the shoulder a bit. By the way, fun fact, Taka Michinoku, I believe, correct me if I'm wrong here, but to my knowledge, Taka Michinoku, the only guy that does not go for a dirty beginning to any of his matches.
Yeah.
He just stares at the guy and just mans up and fights them. Everybody else, they got to just do an attack right away.
Throw him into the crowd. Don't start the match in the ring.
Out of all four of the guys on this tour, obviously with the exception of Suzuki, who's not in it, Taichi, number one on the list for got to get going right away. Got to attack him. Can't let him do anything. Can't let him get any of this stuff in. So Taka works the shoulder a bit. Will taunts at him. Makes a comment about him being a cruiserweight champion. He goes, hey, come on, cruiserweight champ. He was not a cruiserweight champion. He was the light heavyweight champion.
Close enough.
The first ever WWF light heavyweight champion.
It was the first of WWE/F's failed attempts.
Say WWF. That's what it was. He's never worked for the WWE before.
But I'm mentioning all of the cruiserweight incarnations at once. But it was the first of their failed attempts at trying to get the cruiserweights becoming a thing in WWE/F.
They fight on the outside where Taka has him in a chokehold. This is God. I love this spot. By the way, hold on. We'll get to the big finish here, where Taka has him in a chokehold. He has the cross. It's the cross face chokehold, not really on the face, but on the neck.
Yeah.
The cross neck chokehold. Attempts to leave him out there and get a count out victory. So a smart man. Will sprints to the ring to beat the count. I believe it was a 17 count.
Yeah.
And when he does, slides in. Taka puts him right in the same move that he had him in.
Yep.
Unbelievable. I loved this so much.
See, Taka might have been the smartest wrestler in this tournament.
He was.
I mean, he wasn't always rewarded for how smart he was.
But he's a crafty veteran, and it's a lot of fun to watch him play around with these guys. Will forearms him a bit. Taka continues to challenge him, yelling at him, saying, come on, hit me harder. Taka plays around with him a bit, pretending to go for eye rakes, but just kicks him. He does a spot where he goes for the eye rake, then kicks him in the shin, like a very crafty veteran.
Yeah.
Then just super kicks him right in the face.
Yeah, he got him, right on the chin.
Right on the chin. Yeah. And I remember we had one of our buddies over, and he doesn't watch this stuff, but I just remember seeing this and had to rewind it. And boy, he looked like he really stiffed him on this kick.
Yeah.
Looked wonderful. Will fights back, hits a springboard ace crusher for the victory, which I found out was the Os Cutter. I keep calling it a springboard ace crusher.
No, it's always an ace crusher.
I always refer to the moves as what they are. I don't really call them by whatever gimmick the guy has, but yeah.
Os Cutter sounds dumb, so.
Yeah, well, springboard ace crusher. So Will Ospreay wins this one. Goes over on Taka Michinoku. Next up, we have Marty Scurll versus Jushin Thunder Liger. Two guys that I cannot stand and don't care for.
Yeah.
Jushin's old. Marty sucks. That's kind of it. But in this situation, I was rooting for Jushin. That goes to tell you who I hate the most. They do some basic wrestling stuff. Marty works over his left wrist. Marty taunts him a bit. Liger taunts back. They fake bump, or he fakes bumping to the outside to trick him a bit. Match is kind of slow. That's what I wrote down. It was very slow. Marty puts him in the chicken wing. Liger doesn't tap. Then he hits a big superplex on Marty. Liger goes for the shote. Marty blocks it with that very stupid, dumb finger spot.
Yeah.
The worst spot in all of wrestling. And anyone can attest to this. Marty reverses it into the chicken wing. Oh, I'm sorry. Liger put him in the stacked pin. Then Marty reversed it into the chicken wing. Liger desperately tries to not tap, but gives in. And Marty Scurll wins this match. So Jushin Thunder Liger winless as of late so far in this tournament. Taichi versus Dragon Lee. Lee was posing on the top rope. And once again, like I pointed out earlier, Taichi attacked him. Beats him with the cane. Lee is getting jumped by Desperado while White Shoes is engaged in a full-on conversation.
Did you call him White Shoes?
Did I say White Shoes?
Yeah, you mean Red Shoes?
Oh, I said, well, I have wild red shoes, so I probably said white shoes. Well, red shoes, wild red shoes. No, I said wild red shoes, dude. I think you heard wrong.
Oh, well, it all sounded all jumbled up to me.
No, I read exactly what I have here.
Okay, all right. Super defensive.
Full conversation with Taichi. Can I just, guys, really, I know wrestling's fake. I know this is a work. I know they're heels. I get it. But I am so close to calling the commissioner of Japan about this. The Sports Athletic Commission of Nippon Pro Wrestling, of Shin Nippon Pro Wrestling, must hear about this. I'm sick of this, okay? Yeah. You can't jump guys on the outside. Desperado, are you Mexican or not? What's up? Taichi then beats Lee up with the bell hammer. Red Shoes is engaged with a conversation with Desperado now. He's feeling very talkative tonight. He's oblivious to all this, by the way. Lee fights back, hits him with a knee, then topes to the outside on both of these gentlemen that have been engaged in conversations. Lee hits a big hesitation kick in the corner. Then he goes for a high spot where Taichi rolls over on Red Shoes. Or he goes for the high spot, and then Taichi just kind of rolls over, then starts hugging Red Shoes to distract him from the spot.
They roll together.
Rolled him up a bit. How is this not a disqualification?
Yeah, he had hands all over the ref.
Here in the United States, if you even touch a referee, it is considered a DQ. Yeah. No hands on the ref. Here in New Japan, you could hug the ref. You could play cards with the ref. You could buy him a drink. Nothing.
Yeah.
None of this, nothing gets anyone disqualified here. And it's infuriating. Lee fights back, hits him. I just said that. He did not get DQ'd for this. Some more comedy spots involving the ref. Afterward, Taichi rips off the pants.
That's when you know shit gets real.
It's on. Match. After a blown dirty finish, he ripped off the pants after a blown dirty finish with Desperado. I believe that was the spot where Desperado tried to hit him with the chair while he Irish whipped him. Then he hits he hits Lee with a big super kick. Follows that up with a last ride into a jackknife pin for the victory.
Yeah, and he was like using all of his effort to get
this was a pin, folks. Yeah. These guys in New Japan know how to pin a guy. They know how to keep him down. Afterwards, he ripped Lee's mask off because why not?
Yep.
This is like I said. You watch too much wrestling, you start noticing things. These guys love ripping masks off, and they don't care one bit, and it's hilarious. So Ricochet versus Takahashi, Hiromu Takahashi, a rematch of the Road to Show for Wrestling Dantaku. The match starts off very, very hot. Ricochet topes to the outside. Takahashi stops him with a suplex into the turnbuckle. Gives him the loudest chop in the history of wrestling because the acoustics here in this venue were unbelievably great. Hiromu locks him in an E-bar for a bit until he gets the rope break. Ricochet fights back with a series of flips and kicks and uppercuts. Then Hiromu counters by putting the knees up after he tried to go for a shooting star press. Takahashi hits a lot of big moves, all of his stuff. He gets it all in, including what I call a time bomb suplex. Now, if someone could help me with this, it looks like he's setting up for the time bomb, but it's not the time bomb. It's something completely different.
Yeah.
It's like a suplex, but he flips him in the air. I'm not entirely sure what it is, and forgive me because I don't know what it is. But it's a great-looking suplex. Can't put him away after this. Ricochet hits a ridiculous release German that should have killed this gentleman.
Yeah.
Follows that up with an inverted DDT, and Ricochet wins with a phenomenal-looking STO that kind of resembles the F5.
Yeah.
Got him up there really high, and he wins with that.
You can call it maybe a Rick Bottom.
Rick Bottom. Shoot me now. May 22nd, 2017, Tokyo. The Korakuen Hall. The Korakuen Hall. Yes, that one.
Yes.
The Korakuen Hall.
Not the other.
No, not the one down here in Mount Pocono, PA. No, not at all. So Yoshinobu Kanemaru versus Volador Jr. They fight on the outside for a bit because why not? Kanemaru stretches him a bit. Volador gets his ass whipped, quite frankly, during this match. During the early goal in this match, he really got worked over. Finally fights back with a Hurricanrana and a tope to the outside. They stay on the outside for about a 17 count. Volador hits an Okana roll for a 2 count. Then he went for a pinfall during this match, and when Marty went for the 3 count. What? Oh, when Marty went for the 3 count, Yoshi stopped him while he was going. Yeah. Okay, yes. This is another dirty move. I was confused because I thought Marty Skrull was involved in this match for a second.
I'm like, Marty,
yeah.
Marty Asami, not Marty Skrull.
Son of a bitch. So Marty's going for the 3 count. All right, because
fuck Japanese dude's named Marty.
God damn it.
Get a more Japanese name, dude.
So he counts 1, counts 2. He's going for the 3, seemingly. Yoshinobu stops him.
Yeah, grabs him by the hand, right?
Grabs his wrist and
goes...
That's
really fucking smart, though.
No.
Who cares if that's 30? That's smart as hell.
Grabs the hand and goes, no. I'm not losing this match. I don't know if you know this. I don't think
I've ever seen that before.
Furious. if you know who I can talk to about this, please, I will call New Japan Pro Wrestling and have a discussion.
That was brilliant.
About this illegal tomfoolery on my television, or your television, as it were.
I thought it was brilliant.
The finish for this match. Oh my God. This is the finish with the whiskey bottle.
Yeah.
So Taka Michinoku came out, snuck a whiskey bottle to Mr. Kanemaru.
Because they're bad guys and they're edgy.
Because they're evil men. And Yoshi grabs it, and while the referee, Marty Asami, I have cold sweats after saying that name in my dreams. He's speaking to Taka Michinoku on the apron. Taka's like, hey, listen, can I have a word, Marty, please?
Well, hey, man, if you don't engage with the outside interference there and you call the match, the outside interference is going to come in and interfere with the match.
No, not at all. You tell Taka he's banned. See you later. Go home.
Yeah.
Attend to the match.
How
hard is this?
It's
wrestling.
If only they adapted more of the style of the umpires from Major League Baseball, where they're quick to toss you out.
That's right.
Yeah.
That's right. Tell them to get tossed and toss them afterwards.
Yeah.
So, like I said, Taka gives him the whiskey bottle. He engages in a conversation with Mr. Marty Asami. And then Yoshinobu hits him right in the face. Or not in the face, wherever he hit him. It didn't look like it was in the face.
It was in the upper body region, I believe.
Two massive problems with this spot. And I pointed it out, and I was very mad about this. When he hits him with the bottle, Volador does a leg slap.
Yeah.
For a whiskey bottle.
Yep. Hey, man, you got to sell the hit. And plus, he fucking Kanemaru Triple H'd it with the sledgehammer. He palmed the tip of it.
My argument here is you could do the palm with the hand.
Yeah.
That's fine.
Yeah.
That's fine because it's a heavy object. It'll probably make a blunt, blunt force. It'll hit him really, really hard, but nothing audible. Volador does the leg slap. Now, you might think a leg slap sells a move. It's not a big deal. No. If a leg slap is supposed to sound like a very hard hit, if you hit someone very, very hard with a whiskey bottle, it's supposed to break.
Well, hey, man, that glass is thick. You could probably get away with...
Unbelievable.
Yeah.
Should have shattered. By the way, they've had this whiskey bottle for ages now.
Yeah.
I don't know why they haven't drank out of it yet, but...
Yeah, obviously not that edgy.
Volador sold it with a leg slap. Yoshinobu hit him. It didn't break. So many issues with this spot, but whatever. And then he hits his DDT off the top rope for the victory, so Yoshinobu gets another victory here on this tour. And once again, Suzuki-gun. I will have a talk about all these shenanigans. Gentlemen, you will hear from my attorney. Tiger Mask versus ACH. Tiger Mask works over ACH for a bit, who can't get any offense in. So Tiger Mask looking very good against the younger guys here. Tiger starts working the lower back. That was the big story during this match. And you could say whatever you want about ACH. You could say whatever you want about, the fact that he's been kind of uninspired during this tour. But this match was great because he just sold the back.
Yep.
Anything that he tried to do against Tiger Mask was cut off.
Any lifting move, yeah.
Any lifting move. I've never seen a lower back get sold. I've seen the back in general get sold, but never a lower back, which...
Never the lumbar.
Never the lumbar. Like you just said, is responsible for any move that you could do. Yeah. Any suplex that you want to do, any powerbomb requires the lower back. So he worked the lower back during this match. ACH fights back with a double stomp and a plancha to the outside. Hits 3 suicide dives in a row. Tiger Mask struggles to get back into the ring. ACH can win it because the count is at 18 here. What does he do? He puts the man back in the ring.
Yeah.
Why?
Why? Yeah.
Why do these things?
It's not like the count out won't help you get a win.
Does the count out count as still as a victory here?
Yes.
So why do people just?
Because they're
idiots. He goes out and he grabs him. He goes, "I have too much honor for this. I must escort this gentleman into the ring."
Fuck that.
That's stupid. Take the win. Take the victory. Take the W.
Yeah.
Instead, he gets him back in the ring. ACH goes for German, but irritates his lower back, so he can't follow through with it. And becomes an easy target for Tiger once again. He pounds him some more with some forearms to the back. ACH tries to get him up for a finisher. For his finisher, the Michinoku driver, like the package Michinoku driver, the midnight driver.
Yeah.
but his lower back won't allow him to, and Tiger Mask then pins him with a crucifix pin.
Yeah.
So that was that, and ACH jobbed out to Tiger Mask. Tiger Mask looking like a pro here.
Yeah.
So far during this tournament.
2-1 at this point.
And you know what? I'm glad. ACH lost this match because he's a weeb. Ryusuke Taguchi versus Desperado. Taguchi pretends to be a bull wrangler until Desperado takes him down very hard. Was not wasting any time. He saw what was going on, and he was not having any of it. Starts wailing on him for a bit. Taguchi hits him with some arm drags, hits him with his butt. They go outside where Desperado buries him with chairs, and the ref totally okay with this. No issue here. Oh, you want to go outside, throw some chairs on this guy. Whatever. Do what you want. Desperado distracts the referee and proceeds to jam a pen up this man's asshole.
It wasn't even a pen. It was like a Sharpie marker. So,
are you sure it was a Sharpie marker?
Yeah.
We'll go with marker. I thought it was a pen.
Yeah,
but
it was a little thing.
I said pen because the pens are very easily accessible. But so very short story here. Our friend Marcus that was over does not watch any of this stuff, and for the longest time we've been telling him that, you know, we watch wrestling, we got to do the wrestling stuff, and we have homework to do, watch wrestling. And he goes, well, that's just fake and gay, right? That's the gimmick here. It's fake and gay.
Yep.
So he's over to watch it. We're like, oh, that's cool. We're going to expose him to some, maybe he might see some good wrestling. Yeah. Nope. He comes over and sees a guy get a fucking Sharpie.
Looking at his phone the whole time. The time he looks
right up his butt.
Yeah, it's the fakest and gayest thing in the show.
This
well, maybe
was
not the fakest.
This was very gay. This was also the best spot ever. How do you stop the funky weapon? You jam a Sharpie right up it. Good on him.
Even though, really, his asshole is not really part of his offense.
It'll definitely hinder you from doing anything butt related, that's for sure. Because you might be fearful of getting a Sharpie stuck up your butt afterwards. Desperado's mission was to hinder the ass during this matchup. Ryusuke knocks him to the outside, does a springboard plancha, then Ryusuke does a tope followed by a springboard ass attack. Desperado locks him in a stretch muffler. Taguchi looks like he's going to win this match with the ankle lock, but Desperado gets out, rips his mask off, tries to frame Ryusuke by throwing it into his hands.
Yep. And then Red Shoes is questioning him like
Red
that's
Shoes
not
goes,
that's illegal or something.
Excuse me, sir. You can't rip a mask off here in New Japan Pro Wrestling. However,
even though masks have been ripped off like matches before this.
In the rule book, I have it right here. It's my palm. It says nothing of ripping a mask off consists as a illegal act or a disqualification. So after he rips his mask off, gives it to Taguchi, frames him. Red Shoes takes exception to this. Meanwhile, Desperado gets a very brand new mask, seemingly out of nowhere, puts it on while the ref isn't looking, kicks Ryusuke right in the ball sack, and wins with the Angel's wings. So Desperado, man. Desperado. I'm going to have words about this.
He is a bad man.
Very evil fellow. Bushi versus Kushida.
Oh, you missed, what you call it? Your boy working his balls over with the ice
Oh,
pad.
that's right. Tomooka Oka was putting the ice, and Kitamura.
Yeah.
Kitamura was pounding on the butt.
Yeah.
Make sure it's had some life, get some blood flowing in that butt of his. Unbelievable. So ridiculous. So stupid. You have a man like Kitamura who's just solid, massive, behemoth of a human being, and he's over here just pounding and massaging Ryusuke Taguchi's ass to try to put some life back into it. Unbelievable. Bushi versus Kushida. Last match on this card, I believe. Let me check. Yes, it is. Bushi tries to bait Kushida with a handshake, but just ends up dropkicking him in the face. They fight on the outside because that seems to be the MO for literally every heel. Every match goes to the outside. Very, quite a contrast from the Cinderella tournament where...
Yeah.
You can't go outside for anything. Yeah. No, you cannot go outside for any reason.
Well, you could. You just can go over the top.
You could, but it's not. It's frowned upon. Yeah. Bushi is still wrestling in his shirt. I had to put that in there because I hate this very much with a passion.
Hey, he eventually got it off.
Eventually. Oh, actually, to be fair, Bushi uses it as a weapon because he wraps it around the gentleman's throat and then starts choking him with it for only a 5 count, which is very dumb. But anyways, Kushida sits him on a chair, drop kicks him while he's sitting on the chair. Bushi returns the favor with the exact same spot on the other side of the ring. The ref, by the way, takes forever to start a count. So 2 men have been kicked off of steel chairs on the outside. And then finally, I don't remember who this was.
The ref is showing a lot of leniency.
I don't remember what ref it was. One of the oblivious referees, either Red Shoes or Marty Asami. And they take forever to start the count. They start the count finally. And then they exchange some blows after they get back into the ring. Kushida gets his ass whipped a bit. Then he topes to the outside. Then has Bushi locked into an armbar. Kushida starts working the arm by kicking it a bunch. So the left arm of Bushi, the target for Mr. Kushida, goes for a springboard elbow, but Bushi counters it into a backbreaker. They fight on the outside some more. The count starts, once again, super late. They exchange blows. Bushi slaps the living piss out of him in the middle of the ring. Bushi hits a Canadian Destroyer and an MX. And Kushida still kicks out of both.
Yeah. Super Kushida.
So Kushida, John Cena during this tournament, and even though the loss to Tiger Mask would not stop this gentleman, he was still going to kick out. He is essentially God at this point. Kushida counters another MX with a code breaker. Then he puts him in the hoverboard lock and then a small package driver for the victory. So Bushi could not put away Kushida. Kushida was not going to have any of this. He was not losing to a man pretending to be a Mexican fellow who is actually Japanese. And that was the last match on this card. So that is the last match for our first 3 shows here in the Super Juniors tournament. We have the next 3 shows to look forward to. We wanted to split up the shows. We didn't want to just make a 2-hour event here. We wanted to do it bit by bit and see what we could get done because we just had a show earlier on today that went on. We got to catch up on that. So as of right now, as of May 22nd, the A block, Ricochet, Taichi, Dragon Lee, and Marty Scurll, and Will Ospreay in a 5-way tie for first place. All have 4 points. Hiromu Takahashi in 6th place with 2 points. Takamichi Noku behind him, same score. And Jushin Thunder Liger, 0-3 in this tournament. The B block, Yoshinobu Kanemaru. Yoshinobu Kanemaru's in first place here in the B block. This should be thrown out. I don't want any of this. This is uncharacteristic of New Japan Pro Wrestling. So Kanemaru's in first place. Actually, no, he's in a 3-way tie for first place with Tiger Mask and Taguchi. All have 4 points. Kushida and Volador Jr. and ACH and Kushida all with...
You said Kushida twice.
I said Kushida twice, didn't I?
Yes.
I have it written down here twice. Thank you. There are not 2 men named Kushida in this tournament. So that would mean Kushida, Volador, and ACH all have 2 points. And Taguchi. Bushi in last place with 3 losses. So 0 points for that gentleman. And we will come back again whenever tomorrow. Maybe we'll do the next 3 shows after that. And we'll get that done. Unless you want to do it tonight.
That's what the plan was.
Oh, okay. Well, we'll do 2. We'll split it up. We'll split up the shows. Okay, yeah, you're right. So we'll be back for... I'm sorry. I totally forgot the scheduling. So we'll be back for the May 23rd, May 25th, and May 26th episodes, or the dates on this tour. And until then, we'll see you guys another time.